Do you know how many days it has taken me to come up with a graphic? Oh, I've been driven demented. I did a complete set for you all using a graphic of a Czechoslovakian cutwork because it was the closest thing I could find to Broderie Anglaise. The only things I could find were photographs, and it soon became obvious to me that my drawing skills are worse than useless. And I've got a pile of graphics programs. I've got Serif Draw 15, I've got Serif Draw 13, I've got the program I bought recently, Zara, I've got Windows Paint, I've got GIMP 2.8, I've got the Coral, and I couldn't do it in any of them. So guess what I fell back on? Good old limited embroidery draw. That's the only thing I could find that would let me do what I wanted to do. Okay, now the design is a very, very small part of a much larger design. But I have to bear in mind that we're doing it as machine embroidery and we need a decent space between each circle. Otherwise it becomes impossible. And looking at these, I'm not sure even now that I've got enough space. So, work environment. And I set my grid setting for 2mm. Okay. Now let's look at these. Oh, as I suspected. Let's pick up my ruler, my M key, and from there to there, it's only 2.8. Oh, bubblegum. What are these? 4.1. This double line up here was me. That's only 3.8. I've no idea of what scale I'm working in when I'm inside Embroidery Draw. It really is a case of go for it and see where it comes out. See, that one is 6. So I might space these out a bit better as I do it. Okay, now the whole design is going to be full of jumps because there's nowhere, absolutely nowhere, where I can do a run. This is supposed to have 4 lozenges in here. Do you think I could draw 4 lozenges? Not on your Nelly. So let's pull out and take a look at it. And I'll show you what it's taken from. Image, insert, ping. Is that the one? Yep. Open. It's this bit in there, or that bit if you like, and this bit, that bit, that bit. And up at the top I've thrown in a piece that was further up on the design. So let me just get rid of that one and I'll see if I can find the other photograph. Because when I saw it I thought, oh yeah, that'll do great. That's proper Broderie Anglaise. Only of course it didn't work, did it? Now I want the petticoat. Here we go. That was what I was wanting to do. But then I thought, well, you can't do that because not everybody's got a big hoop. And it looks crystal clear in the photograph. But you try blowing that up and then drawing it. You haven't an earthly. From here to about there is at least 18 inches. And I suppose from there to there has got to be, if not 12 inches, nearly 12 inches, might even be 15. I thought, well, there's no way I can do the whole of that, so if I just take an element. Yeah, well, easier said than done. But we've got something now, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark out where we're going to cut. So I'm going to make circles, and I'm just going to use my ordinary tool for that because non-MB users don't have the close tool. 1, 2, enter that. I'm going to go into Object Reshape, Dimensions. Right, it's 15.75 by 16.62. I want to make the two of them 16. It's only millimeters and 16. There we go. Now I'm going to duplicate it. Control D. I'm going to go back into Object Dimensions, and I'm going to tell that 14 by 14. No, I'm going to tell it 15, because why am I keep hitting my Shift key? 15 by 15. Okay. It needs to be a bit smaller than that. And I want to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. That's all I've been doing all day. I'm just hoping I'm not going down with a cold. The weather has been so dreadful just recently. That's better. That's our cutting line. So, I highlight the two of those. Get up there. Go up to Edit. And I tell that group. And then I tell that Control D. And I move that nowhere. Oh, Maggie. Lock. There we go. And I move those two onto there. I right click into that and I drag it over to there. And then I right click again and I drag it again. And then I right click again and I drag it again. Oh, my keyboard's getting in my way. Not that I move my mouse, but my mouse moves for me, which I find exasperating because my wrist ends up aching. And then I right click and I move it into position. And then I right click and I move that into position. And I need to move that back. Go away. Move that back just a fraction. That's it. And I right click again and I move it up there. And I think I'm just about there. Let's have a little look-see. Yep. So that's all our bottom went in. Wasn't too painful, was it? I suppose it all depends on whether you're watching or doing. Right, so I click off that and I go and pick up my run line tool. And right mouse key, right mouse key, right mouse key, right. Not really, Maggie. Okay. Left, right. It's not going to let me be ultra lazy. Which is most disobliging of it. Right. I highlight that. I go into Object Dimensions and it tells me it's 1685 by 1206, Oh, it's not very wide. It's only going to be 10 wide. The height in this particular case is that bit, so I want to swizzle this around, so I'm going to cancel that and click onto the line